Michelle Dockery shows off stunning London townhouse and the most Downton Abbey thing she owns. The West London home is brimming with light and eclectic details. Michelle Dockery shared the Downton Abbey Easter eggs in her home in a new tour with Architectural Digest. She kept one memento from a pivotal scene in the hit show. She has a family heirloom dating back to the era in which the show is set. Michelle Dockery showed off her stunning London townhouse in a new video tour and revealed the most Downton Abbey thing she owns. Dockery, 43, who stars as Lady Mary Talbot in the hit British series, gave a tour of her unique home in a new video interview with Architectural Digest published on Wednesday, September 9. That the home features an eclectic art collection, a large bookcase, herringbone wood floors, intricate crown molding, a marble bathtub, and plenty of leafy houseplants to soak up the natural light. Among her favorite items in the house is a family heirloom, which Dockery said she inherited from her grandmother. She then opened the drawer of the small piece of walnut wood furniture to reveal what was inside. And it is probably the most Downton Abbey thing that I own, as it is filled with beautiful silverware, which we tend to use at Christmas and special occasions, she shared. The vintage silverware was organized along the teal-blue velvet interior of the drawer. So, I am known to occasionally polish my silverware, she said with a laugh. The actress also shared plenty of Downton Abbey Easter eggs she displays in her home from her time on set of the award-winning show. This picture is from the first series of Downton Abbey by Nick Briggs. It's probably about the only image I have in the house of me as Lady Mary in Downton, she said, gesturing towards the framed black and white image of herself dressed in costume featuring a top hat as she rode a horse. She also shared the unique way she chooses to display her Screen Actors Guild Award SAG, for which the cast of Downton won for outstanding performance by an ensemble in a drama series in 2013 and 2016. We got a few, and this one has a miniature pair of pants on its head, Dockery explained as she displayed her SAG award trophy. I did a play a few years ago, and it was a sort of an in-joke, but my dresser gave me a little tiny pair of Barbie pants, and that's now where they live. Never miss a story. Sign up for People's free daily newsletter to stay up to date on the best of what People has to offer, from celebrity news to compelling human interest stories. She then shared the one item she took from the Downton Abbey set. And one thing, in fact, the only thing I got from Downton Abbey was this little dog, which some people will recognize from the train station scene, when Mary gives this to Matthew before he goes off to war, Dockery said. She continued to talk about how the small toy resembles her dog Alfie. And what's mad about this is this was a very long time ago, and little did I know that in the future I would get a dog that looks just like this dog. So this is another homage to my dog. Michelle Dockery and Laura Carmichael would definitely watch a Downton Abbey Dowager Countess prequel series. It's been 15 blessed years of Downton Abbey goodness, with upstairs-downstairs drama, low stakes that feel like high stakes, and beautiful costumes aplenty. And now, the cast and crew have created the real final send-off. In Downton Abbey, the grand finale, the family is facing yet another scandal. Mary's marriage to Henry Talbot is officially over, and she is being pushed out of society because of that. Also, the money is tight, as always, and Cora's brother might not be able to save them this time, and it may or may not be due to a mysterious newcomer named Mr. Sambrook. There's so much to parse through. Michelle Dockery and Laura Carmichael, who play Lady Mary and Lady Edith respectively, hopped on Zoom with Cosmopolitan to talk about how their characters have grown throughout the years, which historical era they would have liked to explore more with the characters, and what it felt like on their final day filming on location at Highclere Castle. The Crawley family spends the bulk of the series doing everything they can to avoid scandal. But in this movie, there's a full-blown scandal that they simply cannot ignore. How did it feel to play through that tension? MD, when I first read the script, I was really pleased to see that Mary has another challenge to get through. We really have to lean into how awful that would have been at that time for someone like Mary to be going through a divorce. So it's really how they all sort of come together to bring her back into society. But like most good stories, there needs to be some jeopardy and some high stakes. It goes on a bit of a journey, but it feels like a really rewarding one. How do you think it impacts the sisters' relationship? Their dynamic shifts in a really fun way. LC. Edith can see how much trouble Mary's in, and how it's going to be so hard for her and wants to step up and help in any way that she can. So you see them become closer. I love how it's not completely cuddly. They still wind each other up and don't do things in the way the other one wants. But underneath it all, they love each other. And Edith certainly doesn't want to see Mary struggle and tries to do what she can. It feels like they achieve a level of peace. What did that feel like to you as actors? For so many years, your characters have been at odds. MD, they've been on such a great journey together. And we often talk about the end of season 6, when they finally have that huge standoff, which has been brewing for many years. I was always really curious to see, where can they go from there? It can't get any worse than this. In some ways, that triggered the new phase of their relationship. Them living separately was really helpful. They've both grown up now. They matured as women and accepted each other's differences. They're quite different people. We love how their characters end up. They may not always see eye to eye, but they have a respect for one another. And they're sisters. They always have that bond and love for one another. Your characters have had some good dust-ups throughout the years. I'm wondering if there are any lines or moments that stick out to you, make you laugh or cringe. LC, we do love the big row that they have at the end of season 6. It's just such a good build-up to that moment. They really see each other and call it out. You can only do that with real intimacy. If they really know each other, they're really there with each other, and they're able to, therefore, say the worst things to one another, and then heal.md. That was a really fun season for us. Season 6, the storylines were just amazing. It felt rewarding in many ways, those big emotional scenes together. We always had a lot of fun with Edith and Mary, but that moment particularly was a big one. Laura, what does it feel like to have Edith really be the one to save the day in this movie? LC, I was really chuffed with the script. I was so pleased to see this scene with Mr. Sambrook, because she doesn't turn to her husband, she doesn't turn to her father. She just decides to manage it herself. And that shows how far our Edith has come. She's in a great place. She's frightened for her sister, so she'll do anything. Where we leave Edith is in a completely different place than where we started. You both have been living with these characters for 15 years. It's been a long journey. When it first started, did you have any inkling